Ready? I like it. Yeah.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Ken Long from the Command and General Staff School. After a 25-year active duty Army career of special ops, conventional ops, and force management, I've been an associate professor of strategy, logistics, and change management for the last 23 years. I've been on the critical thinking and creativity committee to improve our basic cognitive skills in those areas for 20 years. I'm very interested in creativity, and the world is hungry for creativity because that's the source of every innovative solution to help us solve wicked problems, and there are many. Now, the literature on creativity research is vast. For over 100 years, scholars have been studying in detail. The Encyclopedia of Creativity Research is in its 10th edition and comes in at about 800 pages, and it spans every profession known to man. Now, the challenge is that many professions define creativity in a way that makes sense to them. And so getting a common definition of creativity is a challenge, but when you ground it inside a profession, you have the ability to say something important about what creativity means to the profession. And so that's what we did in our creativity research. We impaneled an expert set of judges who had a wide variety of experiences and education in change management and in practical Army operations. And we studied the before and after contributions of our students for novelty. In other words, how surprising was that solution? And then we also compared it to feasibility and acceptability. So feasibility to us means, can we envision the Army practically applying the solution in the real world? And by acceptability, we mean, can the Army see itself accepting this new way of doing things? Can we accept that risk? What you really want is high scores on all of those. So our panel of judges took a look at all the student efforts before and after the training. And we discovered some very interesting things. That the traditional lessons that were taught by professors who were comfortable with that lesson, who taught it for 10 years and had been through extensive faculty development, actually produced a statistically significant improvement on the measured creativity. What was more interesting was that the test group, who had about an hour of training on the new techniques and who maybe didn't even believe in it, scored higher with their students as a result of a single hour of applied creativity. That's phenomenal. The panel of experts, let me start that one over. Okay, count me down. So the second assessment that we did was a measurement of the attitudinal shift of officers and how they felt about creativity, what they thought the Army felt about creativity, and their own confidence and relevance of their skills before and after. Now, it's notoriously difficult to change attitudes on the basis of a single treatment. So we really were just checking to see how officers reacted to creativity training, and here's what we found. We found that going into the training, officers were confident in their own skills at being creative. They believed that creativity was very important, a score of 6 out of 7 on a Likert scale. They thought that the Army talked about the importance of creativity at a level of 5. So they thought creativity was more important themselves than their perception of the Army's treatment of creativity. But it turns out that after the training, their confidence in their skills and the importance of creativity remained very high, but their impression of the Army's seriousness about creativity improved dramatically. So they saw evidence through the training that the Army was not just walking the walk, we were actually talking the talk. Let me say that in a different way. They realized that the Army was not just talking the talk about creativity, but were actually doing something by spending precious time on this important foundational training. Now, what's the business case for creativity to the Army? Why do we even care? Well, if we could get a 3% improvement in problem-solving performance on a $1 trillion Department of Defense budget, that has a present value of over $35 billion today, and the only cost is about an hour of faculty development and about 2 hours of basic training and execution by soldiers in the classroom. Not just officers at the Command and General Staff College, but Army University has over 7,000 faculty that are teaching over 200,000 students every year. And the real payoff comes when those leaders who now have a new appreciation for creativity and the skills to teach it and deliver it go out and teach their subordinate soldiers. Imagine the power of getting every brain into the fight. Anytime a soldier encounters a new challenge in garrison or on the battlefield, if they could bring just a little bit more creativity, they're going to solve those problems just a little bit better. And every time soldiers come together in a culture of appreciation for creativity, you're going to see a powerful network effect as creativity across the board is improved. And that's exactly what we need to be able to win on the battlefield. Not trying to predict the future with precision, nobody can do that. What we need are people that can sense and respond to opportunities and turn those rapidly into innovative solutions and iterate towards success with a culture of appreciation and rewarding soldiers for bringing their new and creative ideas together. It turns out that the creativity research shows a strong connection to emotional resilience and emotional intelligence. And what we're learning at the Command and General Staff School is how to build that collaborative leadership environment that appreciates good ideas wherever they're found and can bring them together to create innovative solutions that work. Because it's not enough just to come up with novel ideas. Anybody can do that. What we need are innovative ideas that can be rapidly transformed into solutions that the Army can adopt and field and win tomorrow's battle. And that's what our research shows can be done. And the models that we used in this training are being adopted already as we speak today at the EOD school, at the Space and Missile Defense Command School, in soccer clubs for youth, in professional courses across many different disciplines. We're finding that there is a strong connection to the essence of human nature, which is to be a creative response in the world. And what we've got to learn to do is unleash the power of that creativity. And it turns out that the Fletcher treatment for storytelling science and narrative is a key way to do that, because it ties into the brain's natural ability to remember, to communicate through stories to trusted others. Storytelling improves our bonds as humans, it builds strong teams, and it unleashes our natural creativity. And we're very excited about the application going forward of the many insights that have come out of this research. Please contact our team if you'd be interested in any follow-ups or collaborations, because we're excited about the opportunity to work with you. Thanks so much for your kind attention.
All right, I want to ask you guys, let me ask you this and then we'll talk, because I multi-organize. Okay. All right, so my question is going to be, how do studies like these impact the Army for good and not just senior leaders?
Well, the Army is a very practical organization. There's a certain distrust for academic research and scholarship because we want to see things that actually work in the world. We're not interested in theory just for the sake of theory. But practical research like this shows that there is a strong connection between best practices in the classroom and delivery of solutions in the field. There's nothing more practical than a proven theory and a reliable way to deliver the goods. And so this research shows that with very little overhead in a wide variety of settings, we can improve the creativity of individuals and teams in a matter of hours. And the payoff endures, and it contributes to creating strong teams in every problem-solving dimension. So there's nothing more practical and powerful than empowering our soldiers, wherever they may be, on the battlefield, in the motor pool, in the orderly room, to be aggressive and confident in the way that they bring their own creativity and ingenuity to solving our nation's problems. So we should be very excited about the impact of this creativity on the future of the force.
All right. All right, sir. So we'll have you speak on the differences between the art and science, and specifically with predicting the battlefield.
One of the special challenges that military leaders face is the problem of art or science. Well, it turns out that leadership is not art or science, it's art and science. There are many times when we have problems that need prediction and precision and engineering, and that's where the science of military science comes to play. But there's also wicked problems, socioeconomic problems, human problems, where we must use artful judgment, where there's no clear one true path. And the challenge for military leaders is to know when it's appropriate to use art or to use science, and even more difficult, how to blend art and science together. And so by bringing creativity research into the classroom and into our leadership discussions and into our doctrinal manuals, we begin to get a deeper understanding of the commander's challenge, of the soldier's challenge, to bring together both art and science when it's appropriate. And so, in addition to the technical training and education that we do in our military science, we're now beginning to appreciate how to teach creativity and critical thinking in order to support our doctrinal, tactical, technical training. And so, really, the blend of prediction and adaptation is the key to our future.